I have for you my current favorite everyday fragrances. There's so many amazing fragrances out there, but the reality is certain ones we actually wear regularly. Sometimes we actually really, really love a fragrance and it's our beloved and we're afraid to wear it. We're like, no, it's too expensive. I see it in comments. So like, that is not an everyday fragrance. It's too expensive. I compiled a list here of affordable, designer, niche. They're all, let's see, I think the most expensive is like 300 maybe, but it starts at like 30. So I have a whole variety here. They're all amazing fragrances and they are all truly what I wear regularly lately. So, and there's some new ones. Oh my gosh. Yes, let's talk about this. Okay, let me tell you first, this first obsession is a designer, but I have been obsessed with the dupes. So Burberry Goddess, I didn't like it as much. I tried it in the mall and was like, and I certainly didn't think it was worth the price. And I was like, I like the idea of it. However, the dupes I'm in love with. Now, one of them I completely finished and I'm actually considering buying a bottle, except I am still in the midst of decluttering. It is an ongoing thing. I haven't featured on my channel everything that I've been decluttering. It's all on my website though, gretabeth.com. That's the shortcut. gretabeth.com brings you to the Sillage by GB. But Angham by Lattafa. I'm in love with that fragrance. It smells so much more expensive than it actually is. And I'm pretty hard on the Arab dupies, on the Arab cheapies. Like I'm pretty hard on them. I'm picky. And let me know down below if you want me to do my favorite Arab dupe perfumes because some of them, I'm sorry, suck. A lot of them are really good, and I definitely have my favorites. So let me know down below if you want to see that video, and I'll do it. So Angham by Lattafa for sure, and then also by Dapper. And I do like the fact that Dapper will say inspired by, so I don't have to do this extra work of figuring out what it's a dupe of, which can be fun, I guess, but sometimes it's exhausting. And he has the one for Burberry Goddess that I love. Now, I don't have any more of the perfume either. However, I have the body lotion and oil. And I have to say, he's changed these lotions a few times. And I'm pretty much in love with these in how creamy they are. Okay, now I'm going to have to do something with this, huh? But I like how this is silky and soaks right in. So I have been using these lotions. I have a lot of lotions. I think I want to do a video on the best body care because I'm kind of a body care junkie, so I have them all and I can tell you which ones are good and which ones don't soak in or aren't hydrating. And I hate that when they're scented but not hydrating. So I don't know. That's another video too. But let's get into this video, right? So for sure, Angham and the Dapper Burberry Goddess, which is a vanilla with a little bit of lavender in there. However, the lavender is not as prominent and it's more of a fresh, aromatic, sweet vanilla kind of fragrance. There's a little bit of this vanilla cocoa powder lavender kind of fragrance that I just personally really, really love. Now, talking about lavender, another one that I absolutely love is, yes, Guerlain Mon Guerlain, but the Intense. Now, I panicked when this was getting low, and I actually took this off my website because I was freaking out because I personally like wearing this. And I thought I had a bottle somewhere, and I finally found it while I was decluttering. I forgot that I moved those bottles. And I'm happy I do have another 100 ml here that just has me over the moon. And I started wearing this one because I was too lazy to go grab this, but lavender vanilla fragrance, powdery, musky, like powdery, like candied kind of powder fragrance. Mon Guerlain is the one that broke the mold and used the traditional masculine note of lavender and made it a sweet lavender with vanilla, where even though that's with masculine, they took that really sharp aromatic edge out of the lavender and made it softer and sweeter, I think by adding maybe violet or something. And they were the ones that broke the mold and turned it into a very feminine note. And I'm all in for it. I love it, love it, love it. And the intense seems to be just a little bit more extra. It's more candied, sweeter, a little bit more intense and richer than the regular Mont Guerlain, which I also love. I just find that the intense is a little bit more gratifying. If I had to choose between the two, if I had to choose my favorite Mont Guerlain flanker, it would be the intense for sure. But a good close is the original. If you have it, don't freak out. I would use the original and then buy the intense. It's not worth saying, oh, I must have the intense instead of the regular. They're pretty close. If I had to choose, it would definitely be the intense. And, I think that came from Chris the Perfume Nest. I would have probably never gotten the intense or tried it because I really loved the original, but I heard Chris talking about how much she liked the intense, gosh, like 2 years ago. So I ended up trying it and she was right. She definitely influenced me on that one to get the intense version. Real quick, if you like this kind of content, perfume stuff, give me a thumbs up. It really helps the analytics tremendously. Just a big fat thumbs up. It also tells the analytics that you like perfume content. That's what it tells you. Like that kind of content. Keep it coming. You want to see more of this type of stuff. Or even just more of me. It does help tremendously. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button too. Let's go. Well, I don't know if this is that new. I think this is from last year, but it's new to me and it was new at Luxe SB, which is where I got this. They have these travel atomizers. They have the travel atomizers. 8 ml, no, 9 ml. They're the largest than any other place. They do have these nice containers that you can do this. You can put them in your queue. And if you like it, they have the full-size bottle. They did send this to me. This is not a sponsored video, but they did send this to me. I like this a lot. I have one Ormonde Jayne that I kept. I have Damask, and I haven't worn Damask in a long time since I wore it in weather that, oh, that's sweet. I wore it in Menorca, and it was a mistake. It didn't work in that weather at all. I was overwhelmed with it. It just didn't do it for me. This is really good. Oh, it's gotten really sweet, almost Delina exclusivist-esque kind of. Like, I think I need to wear this again. It feels like it changed or my memories changed. But this one, more translucent, juicy, opens, juicy, tropical, vibrant, very vibrant. It's inspired by the carnival in Rio de Janeiro. Let me spray this again. I wore this a couple days ago. Oh, the cardamom. Yeah, so there's a pop of fruits. You're getting pineapple, some juicy fruits, rhubarb. You're getting the tart rhubarb. Oh, it's vibrant and zesty, but then you have the cardamom that kind of tones it down a little bit. Then the tea note starts to come in and it mellows it out and gives it a little bit of a more demure flavor where it's like, okay, chill down a little bit. You're getting too wild on me. And the mango pops out from the fruits. So you have the tea kind of welling around it and diluting it and giving it a more almost aquatic tea fresh feel with the mango. And then you start to get this caramel that comes through. Oh yeah. There's dashes of leather, but I would not call this a leather scent, nor tobacco. Okay, it's the Montabaco. So the Montabaco collection, this is a flanker, is known for that tobacco note, which I feel is a little bit more masculine, where this one dances that line beautifully of masculine, feminine, and making it one of my favorites from this house. Definitely either. If you like fruits, this is definitely a unisex fragrance because I bet that tobacco and suede might pull more on a man, but it's very, very delicate and demure on me, although it comes up with this dryness with the tea. And then dries down with this sandalwood vanilla with a little bit of fruity nuances still going on. It is delicious. This is so easy to wear, and it's also exhilarating at the same time. It's like exhilarating and elegant which I mean, Ormonde is always so elegant and composed, their fragrances. So you can see that kind of juxtaposition of the Ormonde elegance juxtaposed against this Rio Carnival crazy lunatic kind of wild child feel to it. It's this hybrid that is fun, but not crazy and super, super wearable. Great everyday fragrance. Loving this one. Talking about vanilla, I know you have to be excited because I'm excited for Xanat by Tomavicci. Gosh, I have been biting my tongue. It took me a little while to get this bottle, but okay, so I tried this in Dubai and I was very overwhelmed when I tried it. Like I had so many perfumes already in 2 days that I was a little bit of fatigue going on. And I was like, okay, a vanilla. When I got this, I was like, holy cow, I wore it. I was so much more in love with it than when I tried it in Dubai. In Dubai, I was like, okay, it starts out like I have that brown sugar cone, which isn't my favorite ice cream cone on ice cream. I don't like that. Sometimes it can feel like burned or amberwood, like I was afraid it was going to be too much like a Money Cassonade, which I actually personally do not like. I do not like the amberwood that's in here. It is just something caustic in there. I just don't like it. It's an overdose of amberwood and it gives it a very abrasive kind of feel, almost burned like. It's not my style. A lot of people love it. A lot. I'm not saying you wouldn't like it. It's just personally not for me. I didn't like on the strip or on my skin. However, so many people love it. And I wish Sharita nothing but success with that. So I was a little worried when I got that brown sugar cone here. I was like, oh no, I hope this isn't going to be like that. Holy cow, when I put them side by side, I was like, this just blows it away. This is so much softer, creamier, true vanilla in here, like true melting vanilla ice cream. And there was something just so much purer and cleaner and higher quality smelling. I mean, it's just what it is. It was just beautiful with like a white floral in there, giving this little bit of levity going on. As it dries within like that 30-minute kind of profile, it's like the ice cream's melting and getting softer and more vanilla feeling. I fell in love with it. I did not fall in love with it in Dubai because I only got 5 minutes with it, right? You don't get to see the whole evolution of it. I try my hardest to carry some of those pieces of paper around. I mark them, save them, and as I talk, I come back to them. But the reality is 15 minutes is generous. I just don't have that time for a full dry down. Man, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And I love this. Can't tell if that's graduated or two-tone. Yeah, it's definitely graduated kind of gradient going on here. The ice cream is given a little bit of intensity and richness, especially in the base, like the dry down. This little bit of coffee, but I wouldn't call this a coffee fragrance. It is there with this richness, or at least when I wore it, not to say it wouldn't show up the next time I wear it. Oh, I get something almost a little boozy at the top, which I didn't get before. Oh gosh, it's so good. It's so rich. I get a lot more caramel now. It's almost like a little caramel drizzle on top of the ice cream. Now, if you're wondering if this is like affogato, this is not like affogato. I'm not getting a heavy coffee note in there. Cafe Amaro, sorry, affogato, the dessert. The Cafe Amore by Mancera is definitely a very, very coffee fragrance. And I had people ask me if this was like Cafe Amore, like an affogato ice cream with espresso poured over it. No, I find this a lot heavier on the cocoa with just a dash of coffee. It is not full coffee the way Cafe Amore is. And this has even less coffee and cocoa. It's definitely more, this is really a vanilla fragrance. It's all about the vanilla with nuances of a sugar cone, of a little drizzle of caramel, more in the beginning to me, and the richness coming from the cocoa, giving it that fuzzy kind of feel, like a cocoa powder vanilla fragrance at the dry down. It's just so delicious. Honestly, he just keeps killing it. Then I know the next one in his queue, that pineapple upside down cake. Let me just tell you, that pineapple fragrance, when you see that listed, you just run, okay? You just run and get it because that one is a hit. And then you can use Greta 10 even at pre-order. If he does a pre-order or a launch, you can always use Greta 10 and save 10% off too over at Tomavicci. The other new launch that I'm absolutely head over heels for, especially since it's totally my style, is Micallef Hypnotic Musk. Man, now I already love Micallef. You know this. I happen to really like their style of perfumery. It just resonates with me. It works in my weather. It's just a brand I've been in love with for 5 years. I think it's 6 years. Five, because we're just starting 2025. So 5 years, I have loved this brand just ever since I discovered them and explored them. I'm not going to say every single release has been a love for me, but in general, I really do favor this house. They just work for me. This one, if you're a fruity girl or a musky girl, because that's what this is, it's a fruity musk. This one opens fruity. It has that sweet and tart kind of raspberry with the sweetness of lychee, of course, a burst of bergamot. Ooh, definitely fruity, a more crisp kind of fruity fragrance, and then into that muskiness. I'm in love with this. It does keep the fruitiness, and it is more of a tart type of fruity. Gosh, oh man, this is so pretty. The powderiness in here is not like a cosmetics powder. It's more of a candied violet powder fragrance in here. This is so beautiful. This really lasted all day on me. It's easy to wear. It has that feminine attractive feel of the fruitiness in here, the ease of a powdery musk. Oh my gosh, way better than Narciso, which I'm not crazy about it. But if you like that type of musky kind of fragrances, this is more powdery than that. Definitely has that candy powder. Mallow. If you liked mallow, it's kind of in that realm. But this, I think, is strawberry that's in here. A little bit sweeter. But that kind of candied, powdery, musky type of thing. This is cleaner smelling. That's sweeter. This has a little bit more tart to it. Somewhat in the same genre. They're not alike, but they're, same family. What else would be in the same family? Um, this is a little bit more, the fruity in here is not tart. It's, again, a sweeter fruit. But, I mean, if we're talking the family, if you like these musky, powdery type fragrances, Musk Diamante by Lancome, which is discontinued. Probably going to like this. But again, it has raspberry, which is tart in here. It's a tart raspberry. So you have to be okay with that. But gosh, yeah, it's a winner. I'm like in love with that fragrance. I think, gosh, Eau Feminine was always my favorite. For the longest time, it was Note Vanille was my favorite from Micallef. Then they came out last year with Eau Feminine, and I was in love with that. I still am, both of them. Now this is my favorite from them, honestly. Like, it's, gosh, they've had some bangers for me. Another one I have definitely been wearing a lot. I just seem to always like this fragrance. And I have what I think I think is a close original. I don't think they're truly dupes, even though they're noted as dupes. I do see a little bit of a difference, but because I happen to have smaller quantities of this that I keep in my purse, it's definitely one that I pop on me when I left the house without any or it wore off, is the Orientica Velvet Gold. Oh, this is almost empty. This is like down to here. This is here. Holy cow. Okay. I have a mini also. I have these minis that I had gotten from them, but they are dabbers. And I keep that Dapper in my purse, and I've just been rolling it on my arms. I do prefer a sprayer, but I've been using that up. So I really, wow, I've made a dent in this. I do have Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold, and I do have an atomizer of that. They're very, very similar. They're very, it's close to a dupe. I don't know if it's an identical, I don't think it's an identical dupe. But I also had atomizers from my discovery kit of Maison Francis Kurkdjian that I had in my purse that I went through. So it's just in general a scent profile that I tend to really enjoy putting on. It's a vanilla I really enjoy. It's very cozy and comfortable. It's a very powdery, musky vanilla with a little bit of like a caramelization to it that give it this sweetness. It's very fluffy, and without fail, I get compliments on it too because vanilla is just the most loved note out there. I'm not saying everybody loves vanilla, but most people love vanilla. It's a really easy note to love. And no matter my mood, it always works. No matter how I'm dressed, I could be in sweats and a ponytail. I could be dressed up. This vanilla just always works. So it is definitely my everyday fragrance. Another one I'm loving, which is also an easy to wear, smooth fragrance, is APOM by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Yes, this one's a little bit on the pricier side. Again, very soapy, clean, but also powdery, musky kind of fragrance. This definitely goes in with the clean fragrances. He's got like the Baccarat Rouge everyone loves, but he also has a whole collection of clean laundry detergent, perfume kind of fragrances that I personally really like. It's a cross between Gentle Fluidity Gold, not quite as vanilla and thick and sweet, and Universalis, which is more of a detergenty kind of clean fragrance. It's almost like you had Gentle Fluidity Gold and added in that sparkling aldehydic kind of feel to it and diluted it out, is what I get. Opens more clean, dries down, more cozy, warm, fuzzy kind of feel to it. Super comforting. Absolutely love this fragrance. Picked this up in Dubai and I'm still in love with it. My attitude adjustment, that's Carner Barcelona Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a wood. It's considered sacred. It's used in a lot of cultures to burn it as a very cleansing kind of wood. I like this fragrance so much. I always say this one opens up where it's like a slap in the face to kind of wake you up, like snap you out of it, and then it embraces you in this like warm, cozy hug telling you everything's gonna be okay. And it's just always been my attitude adjustment. This opens up with rum. So to me, it is like a smack in the face, that shot of whiskey, like cool your engines off. Not that I really do that, but it's kind of like that shot of whiskey and then that comfortable hum. Yeah, this is so boozy. That's crazy. And smoky. Boozy, then smoky. So it's very brisk, very like in your face kind of notes, especially when you're needing a hug. And then it goes into a creamy, milky sandalwood fragrance, a little bit of creamy tonka. And it is the most comforting kind of fragrance that just, to me, it's an attitude adjustment. It's slap in the face and then a big, fat, warm caress. And I have always loved Palo Santo. I always bring it with me when I travel. It's a great one when I'm traveling. If you get cranky because you're tired or hungry or whatever, or you just had a bad night's sleep, you're grumpy. There's something about this fragrance that always reboots me. And I love Carner Barcelona for that. Yeah, it's not a new fragrance, but it'll always be around for me. I love Palo Santo. I also have a 10 ml, which I think I might have used up. I always kept that one in my bag, but I think I used it up. So we're going to have to make some decants for the next trip. A house I haven't talked about in ages, but going through my collection has me loving on it. Plus I added to it recently is Carolina Herrera, The Confidential, which is the Privé collection. I love that house and I have quite a collection. I have, let's see, 14, I believe. I think I want to do a house overview of this collection. Let me know if you're interested. Um, I think it's just one of those that people either do know about or don't. But the Sandal Ruby is the first one I had in this collection. Oh my goodness. And it's such a favorite. It's so easy, especially now that sandalwood fragrances are so popular. This is such a good one. And when is this from? 2019. This one is definitely before its time. This one has a little bit of spiciness and cinnamon at the opening, but nothing too much because, I'm not the biggest fan of cinnamon. I don't like an overdose of cinnamon. It's why I don't like Angel Share. Way too much cinnamon for me. I'm just not a huge fan. I like a dash. That's it. Get a little bit of that, but it dries down to more of a creamy sandalwood. But there's a lot of creamy sandalwoods on the market. I want to be careful. It's not lactonic the way Palo Santo dries down. It's more of a woody kind of fragrance. It's like a patchouli, sandalwood, and the clean cedar in here. The cedar and the sandalwood are more of a clean wood kind of feel than a lactonic. And then you have a little bit of patchouli. The patchouli is pretty light. If you're not a big patchouli fan, I would say this is pretty safe for that. It's not a very resinous kind of or ambery kind of patchouli at all. It's more of you get the wood aspect coming from it. I like this one. It's a little bit of a spicy, woody fragrance with a very creamy tuberose in here. Now, tuberose is one that I love. A certain type of tuberose. I don't like an indolic tuberose, but I love a creamy, buttery tuberose. I think it's so good. And that's the way it is in here. So it's really a pretty fragrance, Sandal Ruby. And then an old favorite I've been circling back to because I went ham on this last year. Cotton vanilla, whipped cream, coconut, peach. Oh man, it's like oh gosh, coconut cream. Like if you had I have like there's Ready Whip cans. I have that with coconut cream too. And it smells like that. If you've ever had that whipped cream can from Coconut Cream, I'm telling you, whipped coconut cream is the bomb. It smells like that. It smells phenomenal. Man, I like this. Yeah, I really like this. Wow, this is really good. I really like this one still. Cotton vanilla. Oh my gosh. And then I have cream velvet. I have been loving on this. I think I like the bottle itself the most. When I talk about like which of these Arab fragrances I just love, there's something about this bottle. I'm like, thank you. A clean aesthetic. There's something so easy to hold. I like the texture of this. It's gosh, I don't even know how to explain this, like clean, smooth, almost, it's I don't know what this is, glass plastic, but I don't know. I just like this and I like the atomizer. Yeah, that's good. This is a Bianca Latte dupe. I don't know, Egg Claire was really good. What was the other one that was really, I've gone through so many. Egg Claire was pretty darn good. I don't have any left of Egg Claire, so I can't compare it anymore. I don't think I have any left, but I gotta admit, this is pretty stinking good. It's stronger than Bianca Latte, so to me it's better because Bianca Latte can be a little light, where this is more intense and definitely has better lasting power. It's like Bianca Latte Intense. I really like this. I think it has a very buttery caramel vanilla kind of feel to it. There's a lightness in the air while being delicious. This is still delicious and yummy and has that lactonic feel. It's a lava kind of caramel. It's a very molten type caramel here that is like caramel melted in hot milk is what this is. It's just really good. I like this one a lot, a lot. So cream velvet has been doing well for me too. Yeah, those are the ones I have been wearing. Those are my ride or dies and new ride or dies that I'm just, yep, loving them. What are some of your new ride or dies? I want to know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.